I didn't set out to be a victim. No one ever really does. Growing up, I had some insecurities, but not enough for me to experience the type of abuse that I would from men, or so I thought. On March 12, 2016, I walked out of my apartment not knowing that the argument that I had with my then boyfriend would change my life. We had been arguing and going back and forth about his portion of the bills. This was a recurring theme. And as I sat waiting for my son to finish his acting classes, I finally answered one of his calls, and he said, "You're going to jail." He had pressed assault charges against me. After that, I would be constantly harassed with text, calls, and emails. I had to sit across mediators with the same person the year before who had picked me up, thrown me to the floor, and caused me to sprain my ankle and use crutches. The same one who would put his knee in my chest to hold me down. And the same one when I tried to get a restraining order after being stalked, the judge said that I was mad that he broke up with me. But I was triumphant. The charges were dropped and the stalking stopped. And after nearly 3 years, it was over. Afterwards, I found myself being called to tell my story. And I built a successful career as a speaker, workplace trainer, consultant, and advocate. I would work with domestic violence and agencies and coalitions across the country. I would work with survivors through legislation, programs, funding, and coaching. I did it all, and I loved every minute of it. I'm not a victim anymore, y'all. Or so I thought. See, this one was different. It looked different, it felt different, it even appeared different, but it was still abuse. There was the psychological abuse of telling me he's my best friend, we're getting married, looking at engagement rings and places to live with my son, but also telling me I didn't make enough money. And then it was the manipulation and lies to get me to do what he needed me to do. Then there was the financial abuse, where at a time I was making more money, and so I could have paid for our household, mine and his. That's rent, vehicle payments, car notes, any kind of thing that was needed, I was there because I'm in partnership, right? Or at least I thought I was. Behind my back, he was planting seeds of my mental instability, telling people that he was never getting married, living with a woman, and that he was single, and even trying to sleep with women that I knew. It had been 4.5 years, and we weren't moving forward. And even as I would ask him, did he want out? And he said no, but I did. And so I left, and I ended it. And much like the first person, he would make my life a living hell. Post-separation abuse is challenging. There was the negative talks about me, there was the lies, there was finding out he was cheating. There was also the cease and desist letters and trying to stop my financial livelihood. This was all occurring while I was writing 2 books. One about for survivors navigating life after abuse, and the other one about how those in the circle can support survivors. What I realized is that I was living those books in real time. There was shame around all of this, because how could I do this work of disrupting domestic violence when I couldn't even see it in my own relationship? It was therapy and speaking to counselors and the hotline that made me realize that what I had experienced was abuse. Again, it looked different, but it was still abuse. But as I realized that I needed something more, and so each day and each moment, I was fighting for my life. It became overwhelming. And there were times that I did not want to wake up. I did not want to be here. I wanted to end it. I wanted to end me. But something told me to keep pushing, keep going. And so I needed to reframe, retrain, and reimagine my new life. I needed to love myself more. I needed to rediscover who I am and who I wanted to be. Because I didn't want to just be a victim. I wanted to be someone who lived a life. I wanted to be bolder, more unapologetic. And that's what I did. Each and every moment, not a day, a moment. Because sometimes that's all I needed, was the next moment. And so I'm here today because of those moments. I am free, and I am loved, and I am Melody, and this is my brave.